What is up, guys? Welcome back to Healthy Recipe. We're going to be making a Mediterranean inspired quinoa salad today. You guys have been asking for quinoa recipes, so I figured it was about time to get some done. This is really simple. We're going to be using some fresh herbs and some really delicious vegetables. So let's get right to work. Let's go over our ingredients really quick. I have here half of a yellow bell pepper, and I'm using yellow just to give some contrast of color. You guys can use whatever color you like. I have a half of a red onion, same thing, just color. I have 2 Roma tomatoes, about 2 tablespoons of grass-fed butter, 1 carrot, salt to taste. Probably use the juice from half of this lime. I have here some poblano peppers that I had fermented, and this is going to add a little bit of acidity and also some heat to the recipe. You guys can leave these out, or if you want you can use jalapenos, pickled jalapenos or anything like that will add a little bit of acidity and heat. I got some string beans I'm going to be slicing up and using. A little bit of crushed red pepper, entirely optional also. I have some feta cheese, about a half a cup. 2 cups of quinoa, and this is organic quinoa. Now I have some herbs here from my backyard. This is some marjoram. This right here tastes kind of like oregano, and also a little bit like thyme, kind of like a mix of those two. Really flavorful herb. If you guys don't have it, you don't have to use it, but try to get some fresh herbs because this is going to really liven up this salad, this recipe. I have some fresh parsley from my garden also, and some fresh basil. I have a spring onion, garlic salt. Lawry's is really one of the only garlic salts I use because they don't use any chemicals or preservatives. And that's really about it, guys. Not a whole lot. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get 4 cups of water for our 2 cups of quinoa, and we're gonna bring them up to a boil. Once that gets boiling, then we're gonna bring it down to a simmer, and we're gonna simmer it for 15 to 20 minutes with a lid on until that water reduces and our quinoa is completely cooked. About 5 minutes before that's completely done, I'm gonna go ahead and blanch the carrots and the string beans in that same pot, so that way they're softened up a little bit. And now we're gonna just go ahead and chop the rest of our vegetables while that's going on. Okay, so we're gonna remove some of these big stems, get them kind of out of the way. And with the basil, I use the flowers and everything. They also have a lot of flavor. And just don't use the stems. I'll use the stems like if I'm making a pesto. I'll throw that in the food processor. But all of this stuff gets minced. The advantages of having a really good sharp knife like the Dahlstrom. And all of these are just going to get chopped up together, and they're going to get put in the salad raw. So all of these stems I'll save aside for later, for another recipe. Go ahead and mince all of this. Okay, so we're gonna do our carrot next, so we can start blanching it. Since our quinoa has only got about 5 minutes, just gonna split the carrot down the middle, cut it into little strips. I just want little bite-sized pieces to spread throughout the salad, and I don't want it to be mush. I just want it to be softer. Okay, so now This has got about another 5 minutes. We're gonna drop the carrots in just to blanch off for the last 5 minutes. And we're also gonna drop string beans in here next. We're gonna chop them up. While that's going on, the string beans will cook a lot faster than the carrots, and we're gonna slice them in a way that they'll cook even faster. So we're basically just gonna cut these at an angle. Just cut them at an angle like that so they'll cook faster. And also it gives a nice cool shape to the salad. Okay, so now we're gonna throw in our string beans, and this is almost done. Another 2 minutes or so. And just get them in there just to blanch them a little bit. Now we're gonna drop our butter in. We're gonna mix that up. While that's going on, we'll finish cutting up the rest of our vegetables. All right, so our pepper, we want to slice it very small, just like the other veggies. So, because we want little pieces with every bite. Small strips first. You cut them into little tiny cubes, kind of like minced. Get them all together. And this is gonna go in cold. So we're gonna go ahead and set it aside. We're gonna put all our cold ingredients together. A spring onion. Just gonna cut that end of the bulb there. Gonna cut it down the middle. Like so. We're gonna cut it again. This side is a little bigger. Then we're going to go ahead and chop it all up. I'm going to cut our poblanos, and these are basically just some poblanos that I fermented in salt water. If you guys want to learn how to do this process, it's really simple. All you do is put a 2.5% to 3% salt to water solution, and then you just bottle them in a mason jar. I have a video on fermenting garlic. I put the link on the iCard above if you guys want to learn that. It makes a lot of probiotics, and it's really, really good for gut bacteria and overall health. So basically I'm just going to chop this the same, really small bits. And while this is going on, we set our quinoa in a cold water bath to cool off, because this is a cold salad. So we have all our cold ingredients here mixed together. Now we're gonna go ahead and bring the quinoa back and mix them all together. Okay, so now that we have our quinoa and our carrots and string beans back, and they've cooled off enough, what we're gonna do is we're gonna mix in the rest of our ingredients. We have a cold ingredients here, and one ingredient that I left out was olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. We're gonna use about a 1/4 cup. Now we're gonna drop a tomato. This doesn't have to be in any particular order. Our herbs. Onions, feta cheese. I'm going to break it up a little bit just to get the crumbs all over. You mix it, it'll break up too. So our pepper flakes, I'm using probably about a 1/2 tablespoon of that. I like it spicy. All right, we're gonna do our lime. don't know who invented these lime squeezers, but most of them are too small for the limes today. They need to definitely reconsider. Now, gonna mix in some of our garlic salt. About a half a tablespoon or so. Gonna mix it all up. We're gonna taste color, flavor, nutrients, vitamins, minerals, fiber, protein. You got it all. That's the kind of food I like to make. See what it needs. Wow, I think I nailed it on the first run on this one. So basically what we would do with this is set it aside for about 30 to 45 minutes in the fridge to get cold. And then as the time passes, all of these flavors will marry together and create an amazing flavor bouquet. Okay, so there you have it. There's my Mediterranean quinoa salad. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make it a little prettier by adding some shredded Parmesan, entirely optional. Just gives a little bit of a nicer look. And we're gonna put some basil flowers on the top. There it is, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please give us a thumbs up so we can continue growing, and subscribe if you haven't already so you can catch all the updates on our latest recipes. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Let's give this a try, see what it came out like. I already had a try, but final try with the garnish on it. You get the taste of all the fresh herbs. It's just so many depths of flavor. It's amazing. It's got some nice crunch and texture from the other veggies. They're nice and cooked, but still not mushy. Absolutely delicious. Try to use fresh herbs, however, because that makes a lot of difference.